Let's go to work and get P.A.I.D. and obtain the final frontier of freedom, economic liberation. Now, family members, not something, all things are monetizable. And we are indeed living through interesting times. Not an hour goes by when Americans don't receive some reminder of the impact of the coronavirus and its effect on our lives. This race is on, and it's on for real. We're talking about the race for an effective FDA-approved treatment for the virus. And despite vaccines being available for human trial in record time, we are many months away from having a viable vaccine. However, we may be somewhat closer in finding some antiviral treatments. And if you've watched the market closely this week and part of last week, any news on that front tends to move the market in a positive direction. And that brings up another truth about trading and investing. There are some stocks that thrive from other stocks' misery. And that's why I've put together this special list for you. And if you are a trader and investor who is looking to jump into this bear market and get P.A.I.D, the pharmaceutical sector is indeed a logical choice. A combination of big-name drug companies as well as smaller startup companies are working around the clock to develop vaccines on treatments that will target the infection caused by the novel coronavirus. So let us begin. In no particular order, please write these down because these are low-hanging fruit positions that will get you P.A.I.D because of their research as it relates to the coronavirus. First company I want to give you is Teva, some pronounce it Teva. Teva Pharmaceutical, symbol TEVA. Now, TEVA is one of the most encouraging but unproven responses to treating the coronavirus. And it is a company that is providing some state-of-the-art, cutting-edge research pertaining to a treatment for the coronavirus. Now, this company is located in Israel, and it announced plans to donate 6 million tablets of the malaria drug that has been found to lessen the symptoms of the coronavirus. Now, the tablets were slated to arrive here in the United States on March the 31st. And a total of 10 million tablets will be delivered within a month. Now, using the drug to treat the coronavirus will be an off-label, unapproved usage for the drug. However, based on evidence of some efficiency, the company is being asked to take this step. And according to Teva's spokespersons, officials from the U.S. Health and Human Resources Department, as well as the FDA, asked Teva about the feasibility of increasing shipments of this particular malaria-based drug. And His Royal Highness Donald Trump has encouraged health officials to expand its use. Shares of Teva stock have surged over 14% since the news was released. Family members, TEVA on any positive news coming out pertaining to the shipment of medications that they've sent here to the United States to get your P.A.I.D. Next mega pharmaceutical company that we can look at to monetize as a result of this company's research relative to the coronavirus is Pfizer, symbol PFE. Now, Pfizer and a company called BioNTech, spelled BIONTECH, which trades under the symbol BNTX. Now, Pfizer symbol, as you know, is PFE. BioNTech symbol is BNTX. Now, on the vaccine front, Pfizer announced a deal with the German company, BioNTech, symbol BNTX, to co-develop and distribute a vaccine candidate for the coronavirus. Now, Pfizer will be using BNTX's mRNA-based drug development platform. The agreement will exclude distribution in China. The plan is for the vaccine to go into the United States and German clinical trials this month, late in April. Now, the coronavirus is the latest example of the partnership between the two companies who have worked together in the past to develop mRNA-based influenza vaccines. Now, leveraging expertise and resources of both companies, the collaboration aims to accelerate global development of BNT162. Once again, BNT162. All right? and they plan on starting clinical testing late this month on BNT 162. Now, from start of testing to eventual approval, this could take perhaps 12 to 18 months. Now, shares of BNTX are up 54% this year, beloved, on the back of this coronavirus situation. And Pfizer stock, okay, is starting to push back up because it's been down 20% this year. But now, as a result of the publication and notification of this collaboration between these two companies, we're talking about that Pfizer, symbol PFE, and that BioNTech, symbol BNTX, both companies' stocks are moving to the upside. The third position I want to give you is Regeneron, symbol REGN. Now, Regeneron and Sanofi currently collaborated on Pfizer for the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. Okay? Now, the company anticipates receiving initial results within a few weeks of when patients come and take Pfizer, how some of the side effects seem to offset the coronavirus's symptoms. Now, Regeneron is working separately also on a cocktail of viral neutralizing antibodies. The company believes that clinical trials could begin in early summer of this year. Okay? And Regeneron is applying its Veocimab, spelled VEOCIMAB, Veocimab technology to prepare manufacturing-ready cell line as lead antibodies are selected so that the clinical scale production can begin immediately. If effective, it's possible the cocktail can be administered prior to exposure to protect against the coronavirus. Now, the company is working towards the goal of producing hundreds of thousands of prophylactic doses per mouth by the end of this summer and hopes to have smaller quantities available for initial clinical testing at the beginning of the summer. Now, shares of REGN, talk about Regeneron, are up over 25% since the coronavirus outbreak this year. Regeneron family, symbol REGN. And as we continue to look at major pharmaceutical companies that are getting P.A.I.D from the coronavirus and their research pertaining to a vaccine for the coronavirus, I want to bring your attention to Gilead Sciences. Gilead Sciences, symbol GILD. Now, one of the world's best-known pharmaceutical companies on the planet is Gilead Sciences, symbol GILD. And it is currently testing the effectiveness of its pneumonia drug, Remdesivir, as a treatment for the coronavirus. Now, Gilead is conducting worldwide clinical trials as I speak. And although the majority of these trials are in the United States, there are 3 sites in Singapore and South Korea, as well as randomized controlled clinical trials in Wuhan, China. Now, the trial will end on April the 1st, okay, which was yesterday, with results coming in May. Now, in a nod to the speculative nature of what is happening right now, shares of Gilead stock soared nearly 10% when His Royal Highness Donald Trump stated that Remdesivir was essentially approved, quote unquote. However, the stock has since come off the highs after FDA Commissioner Stephen Hahn said testing was not completed, particularly as it's related to dosage. Having the right drug but the wrong dose can cause more harm than good. Now, shares of Gilead stock are up over 20% this year since the coronavirus outbreak. And Gilead is one of the few stocks that have been rising as the broader market has been selling off. Family members, see now what others see eventually. Gilead Sciences, symbol GILD. Talking about big gun pharmaceutical firms that will get us P.A.I.D from this coronavirus situation. Next company I'll give you is another big boy. Talking about monetizable information, family members, that will get you P.A.I.D. We're talking about GlaxoSmithKline. GlaxoSmithKline, symbol GSK. Now, GSK is another company experimenting with a coronavirus vaccine. However, GSK is not a pure play on the vaccine front, at least not for the coronavirus. You see, the company is also partnering with the Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovations to lend its vaccine agent platform technology to any company that is working on the vaccine. Now, An adjunctive is used to enhance and augment the effects of a vaccine by boosting the immune system. This in turn makes the immune system respond more vigorously to a vaccine, providing increased immunity. Now, Glaxo is also partnering with the Chinese biotech company Clover Pharmaceuticals to allow its adjunctive technology to be used with the company's vaccine candidate known as Tremor. Now, because the company is more indirectly involved in the battle against the coronavirus, its stock has yet to see the same benefit as the other pharmaceutical stocks that I've given you on this list. But shares of GSK stock are down over 17% for the year. However, value investors should be attracted to the company's dividend, which is up over 6% since the stock's recent decline. So a sort of backdoor play on the coronavirus situation would be GlaxoSmithKline, symbol GSK. And the next position I want to give you is a smaller company, but boy, are they posed to get P.A.I.D. from this coronavirus situation. A company called Innovivo, spelled I-N-O-V-I-O, Innovivo, symbol I-N-O. Now, I-N-O is a cautionary tale about why being first is not necessarily best when it comes to a vaccine. You see, I-N-O was one of the first companies to announce that it had a potential vaccine for the coronavirus, and I-N-O has received a $5 million grant from the CEPI to fund its preclinical and phase 1 clinical testing of its vaccine. Now, I-N-O expects the trial to start this month in April and is forecasting 1 million doses to be available by the end of the year. Now, that's good news. The more troubling news, however, for traders and investors is that the nature of vaccines is that not all of them are effective. And even if they are, there's no guarantee that I-N-O's particular vaccine will be the first to the market. Both of these are headwinds on the stock. However, traders and investors that are buying I-N-O because it is a growth stock, well, that might be a clever thing to do. And it does have other drugs in its pipeline as well. Innovo, symbol I-N-O. And the next position I want to give you, company, we're talking about pharmaceutical companies that will get you P.A.I.D. as a result of their research on the coronavirus, is Heat Biologics. Heat Biologics trades under the symbol HTBX. Now, this is a particular position that is up over 30% for the year. The reason is that its coronavirus vaccine candidate has been added to the World Health Organization's, quote, draft landscape, end quote, of candidate vaccines. That makes HTBX one of the 41 possible vaccines in development. Now, being one of the 41 candidates is unremarkable. Like Invo's, which I just told you, there's no guarantee that Heat Biologics vaccine will pass muster. However, the company did join the Alliance for Biosecurity. Now, joining the alliance may help Heat secure government funding to support its rapid deployment, okay, and production and distribution, as I said, of its coronavirus vaccine. But the World Health Organization designation will also benefit Heat from another reason. The United States government is pledging to throw $8 billion to fight the spread of the coronavirus. That money isn't going to be spent on companies with unproven technologies. So being on the World Health Organization list of approved vaccines makes it more likely that Heat Biologics, symbol HTBX, will receive some of that money and be a beneficiary. And then, last but not least, a big boy, a household name, Johnson & Johnson, old J&J. Now, the company is still identifying a potential vaccine candidate. Like GlaxoSmithKline, J&J initially is focusing on using its existing AdVac and PR, that's C6 technologies, to improve the development process for a vaccine. And according to a spokesperson for Johnson & Johnson, they say, and I quote, "If we had a vaccine candidate with potential, we aim to make it accessible to China and other parts of the world also," end quote. However, Johnson & Johnson is also preparing its own vaccine. The company is planning to have its candidate vaccine into its phase 1 clinical trial by the end of this year. And in February, the company announced it is working with BARDA to test its vaccine candidate, with both organizations providing funding for research and development. And even though other companies have been faster to bring a vaccine to clinical trial, don't sleep on the ability of Johnson & Johnson, or J&J, to be one of the primary vaccines in the future. The sooner there is a viable treatment for the coronavirus, family members and listeners alike, the sooner we will all begin to see life return to whatever our new normal life will be. For some of the companies listed, any boost they receive in these next few months may be short-lived. So I want you not go long on these positions, okay? You want to go short on these positions. Utilize our ER strategy, because they will be touting reports pertaining to their progress during their ER releases. So our S was to ER residual strategy, combined with the drill down on these particular positions, will get you P.A.I.D. Now, right now, traders and investors are looking to find whatever positive lining they can in the pharmaceutical world as it relates to a treatment, a vaccine, or something for the coronavirus. And these pharmaceutical companies are hiding in plain sight that I just gave you. So family members, it's very important that you monitor these companies closely. Be on standby for your P.A.I.D. alert and your whistle alert as the market dictates. In the event you slip and do not catch something that is monumental that will get your P.A.I.D. from these particular companies, a headline or some type of press release. But we'll be right there to notify you of the optimal time to get P.A.I.D. from these particular positions. For completion of the appropriate drill down, call option applicable if need be, and